Hi, this is Brett from SRmoto and SoloRacer.com. I wanted to do a quick video overview and demonstration of the brand new 12 O'Clock Labs integrated taillight and Fender Eliminator kit for the Suzuki DRZ400S and DRZ400SM. What we've got here is one of our DRZ400SM project bikes that we recently installed this taillight kit on, so I thought it'd be a good time to do a quick video overview for it. I will put a link down in the video description below to the product page on our website where we do have this available for purchase. I'll also link you over to the DRZ400 parts section on our website, as well as this particular project bike page, so you can kind of see some of the other stuff we have installed on the bike. This integrated taillight kit and Fender Eliminator will work on any DRZ400S Dual Sport or DRZ400SM SRmoto, starting with like the 2000 model year, I believe, and it'll work on any of them all the way up through the current model year. So that's kind of what it looks like on the bike. Here in a second, I'll kind of do a demonstration of how the brake light works and the integrated turn signals and everything. Just to give you an idea, like a size comparison, this right here is the stock taillight and turn signals off of that bike with the license plate mount. You can see it's quite the monstrosity. It's one of the first things that a lot of customers will replace on the bike, since it's, you know, it's so kind of ugly looking. So that's kind of what that looks like, and you can see size-wise, this is the 12 O'Clock Labs integrated taillight and Fender Eliminator kit, so quite a bit smaller in size. And even though it's a lot smaller and more compact, you'll notice here when I do the demonstration, it's very bright. The LEDs on it are very bright, so it does stand out even though it's small in size. So that's what that looks like. And also one thing I'll mention real quick, one of the options when you order this from us is a fixed rate turn signal flasher. And I'll talk about what that does here in a second, but that is one of the options, and basically it's just a little module that installs on the bike. I'll talk about that here in a second. So that kind of gives you an idea size-wise what we're talking here. Really kind of cleans up the back end of the bike. Installation, super easy. It's completely plug and play. The wiring already has the Suzuki connector plugs for the taillight and the turn signals. So it's ready to plug into the harness that's right up under the seat. It is specifically made for this bike, so it bolts right up to the subframe without any modifications or anything. And what you get is basically a taillight slash brake light, and then a license plate mount to attach your license plate to. And you'll notice that they have painted everything black, so it looks really good on the bike, I think. They also will include with it a backing plate for the license plate. So the license plate is attached to the bracket, and then there's also a backing plate to kind of give some extra support to the license plate itself. It'll come with mounting hardware for the license plate and everything. Just as an FYI, the Yoshimura license plate bracket is not included. That's one thing we've just installed on this bike, but it will come with the mount for the license plate and everything. So that's kind of how it bolts onto the bike. And like I said, very simple installation. You'll notice that it does have a clear lens. They do this for brightness. You'll notice this in a second here. This is one of the brightest taillights you're going to find for the bike, and part of that's because of the clear lens. So that's what it looks like on the bike itself. Let me turn the ignition on here. Kind of show what the running light itself looks like. So it's, you know, it's going to come on as a running light. If you see a little bit of flickering on the video, that is not what the tail light does. It just kind of does it sometimes in these videos. It'll have a little bit of flickering, so just kind of ignore that. It's kind of hard to tell in this video, but it is very bright. You know, the LEDs. The LEDs that 12 O'Clock Labs uses are real bright. You'll notice on the bottom of the taillight there are white LEDs that shine down on the license plate to illuminate the license plate, so that's all built in. To show you what the brake light looks like, try to demonstrate this here. When you hit your brakes, you'll notice it has built-in safety brake pulsing. So every time you hit the brakes, it's going to pulse the brake light a couple times. You can disable that if you want. It's programmable, so you can disable it very easily. I always leave it on. I kind of see that as a safety feature to kind of warn people behind you that you're stopping. So that's kind of a nice thing that they've built into it. Let me show you what the turn signals look like then. So that's what it looks like when you turn your turn signals on. Now there are 7 programmable flash types. I've left mine at the default. I think they call this the chase or the scrolling flash. I kind of like that one. But there's 7 total that you can easily program, and the instructions kind of show you how to do it. It's very simple to do, so you can go through and try all the different ones. You can do a standard flash, a hyper flash. There's a couple different ones. I just happen to like this chase flash myself. So that's kind of what the turn signals look like. Now, we get questions on, okay, you know, when you have your turn signals on, what happens when you hit the brake light? Well, everything basically just gets brighter. If you have safety brake pulsing enabled, it's disabled if you hit the brake light and your turn signals are on. That way it's, you know, it's just going to continue flashing whatever turn signal you have on, and then everything just gets brighter. So that's kind of how that works. Again, super bright LEDs. Really stands out, not only during the day, but especially at nighttime. I mentioned earlier a fixed rate turn signal flasher module that we sell as an optional part when you order the taillight. I do recommend that for these bikes. The main function for that fixed rate flasher is going to make your front turn signals flash slow like they're supposed to instead of hyper flashing. If you don't install a fixed rate flasher, once you install this integrated taillight, your front turn signals are going to hyper flash, so they're going to flash really fast. The fixed rate flasher will make them flash slow like the stock turn signals do. So that's kind of the main reason for that fixed rate flasher. But on these bikes, we sort of recommend it because every once in a while we have customers that don't purchase the fixed rate flasher, and then they'll have some weird issues where the turn signals won't flash or they'll stay on solid. I mean, I've had, you know, several phone calls over the years. So basically we recommend the fixed rate flasher. It's not very expensive. If you don't have one of those, I definitely recommend it. That way you won't run into problems with the turn signals, and then your front turn signals will, you know, flash slow like they're supposed to. It doesn't really affect the rear turn signals in this case because the integrated turn signals are sort of controlled by the taillight itself, and you have those 7, you know, programmable flash types that you can choose from. So it's mainly the front turn signals that fixed rate flasher is going to control in this particular setup. So anyway, so that's about it. That's again, real high quality stuff from 12 O'Clock Labs. If you're not familiar with them, we sell a ton of their stuff for not only the DRZ400s, the CRF450Ls, the WR250Rs. I mean, they make really good high quality stuff built here in the USA. So if you're looking for a new taillight setup for your DRZ400S or SM, this is definitely one to consider. Again, I'm going to put links down in the product or in the video description down below to the product page and also to this particular project bike, so you can kind of see some of the other parts we sell for the DRZs. If you have any questions or anything, our email address is on the website. Shoot us an email. We'll get back to you as soon as we can. And I think that is about it. I think I've kind of mentioned everything I need to. So again, check out the video description down below, and we'll link you over to the website. And if you have any questions, shoot us an email. And again, it's Brett from SRmoto and the 12 O'Clock Labs integrated taillight kit and Fender Eliminator for the Suzuki DRZ400S and DRZ400SM. Thanks for watching.